Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Transfer Show live here on the Football Martin channel this evening. Thank you very much for joining me. Great show coming your way. I've got loads to cover, loads to talk about this evening. There is loads of transfer speculation. We are going to cover all of that here on the channel. But first and foremost, a massive shout out to everybody that has taken up a YouTube membership. It is brilliant. The uptake has been unbelievable, and to all my new patrons as well. Your support makes this channel work, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. I will be reading all of those out in a later show. We're less than 2 weeks away from the summer transfer window closing. That deadline is on September the 1st, and it is fast and it is approaching. And there is a lot of business to be done. We are going to cover all the latest rumours, all the latest speculation coming up. In this show, we have the latest on Edward Spertsyan. Will he be making the final decision about whether he comes to England or not? West Ham bidding again. They are back in for Mateus Fernandes, according to reports. We will cover that. Olympique Marseille have put 2 players up for sale, including one familiar face from the Championship. Saints have been linked with an RC Lens forward, Morgan Giavogi. Hopefully I pronounced that one correctly. He's a wide player. And also Tyler Dibling is now being linked with another football club. And this time it is Crystal Palace. We have the latest on Ballard. He's attracting interest from League One. Are Saints ready to cash in? We're going to cover all of that in today's show. And I'm also going to get every single one of you involved at the back end of the show. So if you want to have your say, you want to give me your thoughts, get those comments in the comments box below at the back end of the show, and I will start to read the comments and go through those. But for the first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just going to cover the transfer news that I have here. And like I say, we'll get you guys involved. Well, it has been rumoured today, and the speculation across social media is that Edward Spartzian does want to join Southampton. There's loads of mixed reports, and it's getting a bit boring now. I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, it does feel a little bit boring because it just feels like it's been going on for a while now. Does he want to come? Does he not want to come? Have the club received a bid? Have they not? Because it was reported that Saints did put a bid in. They've now gone back and tabled a second bid. They said a few days ago that a decision was expected on his future. Well, that was days ago. Still nothing. There's one account on X that's an Armenian account that seems to be tweeting quite a lot. Whether it's nonsense or not, I don't know. He seems to have quite a lot of followers, but I think until you hear it from someone like Fabrizio Romano, I think you're kind of taking a lot of what you're hearing with a lot of pinch of salt. So it is just speculation, really. 14 million euros was the reported bid, with bonuses added on, with a promotion bonus. There's other clubs circling, and it seems like they may be just holding out to try and get a bigger amount of money for him. It's Krasnodar that are his parent club at this moment in time, and they're maybe just waiting to see if somebody else does come to the table. But it was rumoured today that Spertsyan wants to come to Southampton. And just to put it into context, he become the all-time leading goal scorer from direct free kicks in the Russian Premier League. He is very good from free kicks, very good from dead balls. And he is certainly a player that Will Steele has already admitted that they'd like to bring in if they could. A lot of people were talking in the chat on my recent videos around Edward Spertsyan, whether dealing with Russia is a great thing to do. I think it's an interesting topic of conversation. Don't want to really get drawn on all the politics around it. But look, dealing with Russia is that allowed now? Get involved in the comments box. Is it allowed now? British companies and businesses dealing with Russia, because it was banned for such a long period of time because of that war in the Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. So look, I don't know how it sits with footballers. Is it different? Is it not? I've not looked into it loads. All I know is that this guy is a very good footballer. Seems like he's everything we need. Seems to be the top target along with Jack Rodoni. Jack Rodoni looks like he's going to stay at Coventry, by the way. I did mention that on the watch along that I did at the weekend. Doesn't look like he is coming to Southampton unless we're going to go in with some like remarkable bid and bid something major for him, which I don't think we're going to do. There's still a lot of business to be done. Like I say, just 2 weeks to run. Well, it's not even 2 weeks now. September the 1st, it's deadline day. It is fastly approaching, and that window will slam shut, and we will know exactly what we've got left with and exactly what's gone. We will know where we stand in just under 2 weeks' time. But what must be done? I'm going to cover all of that in another video, but I do feel there's a fair bit of business to be done. I did see an interesting one today, and I thought I'd bring it to the show because there's no link to this player in Southampton, but Jonathan Rowe has been over at Olympique Marseille. He is very, very well known here in the Championship in England. Was brilliant at Norwich City during his time there. His time at Olympique Marseille is over. They have confirmed that, the club, and they're going to let him leave. Would he be a player that you would like Southampton to sign? Is he a player that will make his way back to England and the Sky Bet Championship? I think he would be a very, very good signing, in my opinion. I think he would be fantastic. I think Spertsyan would be brilliant. From what I've read, I think he looks like a really good player. And like you read into the stats, I think you can watch YouTube clips on players. I think you have to be really careful of judging anyone on YouTube clips. But this Spertsyan guy, his stats back it all up. What they say that he's done in the Russian Premier League, and what I did a video on it. It's well worth checking out. Go check it out on the channel. I covered loads of it. This guy is the real deal without any question. And we know Jonathan Rowe. He's the real deal. He knows the Championship. These players know the champ, and that's what really excites me. Yesterday we were linked with another player, and I hopefully got the pronunciation correct on it. So apologies if I haven't done so. I have done some research on it, but it's Morgan Gilavogi. So Morgan Gilavogi, according to Fabrizio Romano yesterday, Saints opened talks with RC Lens over a deal for him. He's a versatile forward who can play on either wing, or he can play through the middle. He's 27 years old, and he spent last season on loan in the Bundesliga. He scored 6 goals, and he helped St. Pauli avoid relegation. He's now firmly on our radar. Romano doesn't usually tweet stuff unless he's well in the know. He's pretty good when it comes to transfer speculation. When he speaks, you usually listen, don't you? Right, West Ham have reportedly, I read this about an hour ago before coming on air. They have apparently been back in for 3 midfielders today, including Southampton's Mateus Fernandes. I think it's one to watch. I'm not convinced that West Ham are going to pay the bucks required to get him in the door at the London Stadium. I just don't see it happening. But there are some mixed reports that I read somewhere a few days ago that Fernandes wants to leave. He's not happy to play in the Championship. And then I read elsewhere that, you see Will Steele saying what he wants to be. He wants to play for us. There's so much speculation. You have to take everything in the mainstream media or in the media, across certainly X anyway, all of it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, because you just don't know what's going to happen. It's really hard to gauge how it's silly season now. Final sort of like 2 weeks. It goes a bit mental, and I do think our transfer business will blow up. Well, it has to blow up, really, because we haven't really got loads of players out the door. We're going to come on to that in another segment in a minute, and I want to talk about the reason why I think maybe some of these players haven't gone out the door that we expected to go out the door. We'll cover it all in the show. Keep your comments coming, but if you want to hold on to some topics to the back end, I am going to do a section where I get you guys involved. It's all about you guys as well. But I really appreciate every single one of you tuning in. If you're a Southampton fan, you're in the right place for Southampton content. Content galore coming your way between now and the international break. We have another 2 league games. We've got Stoke at the weekend and Watford next weekend. I'm going to cover both of those on my channel. Pre-match shows, matchday vlogs, fan cams, and also post-match shows as well. And I will be bringing back my Football Martin podcast as well, with a special guest each week. So look out for that as well. And if you're a TikToker, Sunday night at 8 p.m, I'm doing my call-in shows once again. I've been saying I'm going to do it for a while. I've not been well this last couple of weeks. Certainly the last week I've been really unwell and just not had the energy to do as much as I really wanted to. But I will bring it back. But it's easier. It's an easy platform to do it on TikTok. So Sunday at 8 p.m. Right, let's carry on with the transfer show. I've gone off on a tangent like I always do. It's great to have you here, by the way. Right, Tyler Dibling, he was involved and back in the first team squad at the weekend, managed to get on the field as well. Didn't think he put on the Saints shirt again, to be quite honest. FA Cup holders, Crystal Palace are reportedly interested in Tyler Dibling now because it looks like Eze is on his way to Tottenham Hotspur. Don't know if that deal's been done yet, but there's talk of a £60 million deal for him. And reports suggest that Palace do want to secure a replacement before letting Eze go. Dibling is just one of a few names on their list. And they're looking at Canoes, I think, at Leicester City as well. Will he end up at Palace? Are they going to let Eze go for 60 and buy Dibling for 50? I think it's pretty unlikely, in my opinion. Right. Alfie House, I was reading his Echo column today, or one of the stories that he wrote today. You need to be a subscriber to read it. But I was reading it today. He's been talking about Don Ballard. He knows more about Don Ballard than anyone else because he's watched him a lot. He went in the press, that is, anyway. Southampton striker Don Ballard is attracting interest now from 4 League One clubs. Alfie went on to say today that he thinks that the club will probably look to sell him. 20-year-old striker has had 3 loan spells in League One already, with just a year left on his deal. A permanent transfer out of Southampton now looks very, very likely. Plymouth are in for him. Apparently Reading, where he's been out on loan before, and Barnsley are amongst the sides that have been linked with him. We'll see how that unravels in the coming days. But he's not played any part, has he? Let's be honest. It's not really. I thought he might make the first team squad this year or be in and around the squad, but he hasn't been, has he? Well, we've seemed to got a lot of forwards. Though at the weekend you say that was a few injured, but yeah, it doesn't look like Will still feels he's ready or quite good enough right now. So yeah, get all your thoughts in on Don Ballard. I'll come back to all your comments very, very shortly. So we've covered the story around Dibling to Palace. Would that be a good signing for Palace? Do you think they will come in for Dibling? I'm not convinced they will be. Right, I have a little bit of other Championship news, actually, before I come on to some of Will Steele's comments from the weekend. Ipswich Town and Coventry are both eyeing a move for Danish midfielder William Boving. Saints were linked with him at the start of the summer window, actually. He's at Strands Graz and valued at around £3 million. He's a very good player, plays out wide, and he was heavily linked, but it looks like Ipswich Town and Coventry are in for him. Is he on his way to the Championship? We haven't really been linked with that many players, which is a little bit concerning, unless it's just being done right under the radar, and that's the club are keeping it tight. You just don't know. But stuff gets out, doesn't it? Doesn't it usually? The possible exits we spoke about in the transfer shows last week that I did. We spoke about Armel Bellacop chap. He's obviously been on the transfer list for a good period of time now. Haven't been able to move him on. Was it 2 years since they wanted rid of him? He's still there. Need to get him done. My big question is: are football clubs out there at the moment? Have they not got the money because they just see our players as just not good enough, or are we overpricing the players a bit and want too much for them and maybe pricing out some moves, or just overpricing the players? Are they going to leave it to the very end and try high now with the view that you've got a buffer between now and the window closing? I don't know. You could say it's risky business. I'm no director of football expert though. Let's put it that way. Sam Adozie, he's still not involved in matchday squads. He's still apparently weighing up offers from Strasbourg and Club Brugge. Somebody put a tweet out a few days ago and say, were the club waiting for another winger to come in before they let him go? He clearly doesn't want to. Does he want to be here? So it's got to go, surely. Joe Rebo, Alfie House said this today. He's obviously 29. We know that. Just 1 year left on his deal. We know that. Apparently, Saints are not desperate, but they're open to offers. Not desperate to sell him. What they can do? Let him go for free next year. It's a strange one, really. Try and get some money for him now if they can. But he's nowhere near the match day squad. So, yeah, look, I think it's an interesting one, that one. I thought Will Steele's comments of the weekend, I wanted to touch upon those. I think he's a little bit of frustration maybe in terms of, maybe not frustration, but he wants to play a certain he wants to have be able to play different setups against different styles, like you would do as a manager. But he said to play certain systems like a back four, you need specific profile players. He's pretty much saying we don't have them. We don't really have 4 out-and-out wingers. We don't really have out-and-out wingers. 4. It'd be nice to have 4 out-and-out wingers. We don't have out-and-out wingers. We've got a lot of inside forwards. So right now it's about managing this month while the window is still open. I thought it was interesting comments. I do want to come on to Ryan Fraser and his performances very, very shortly. But wingers are a massive issue, aren't they? We need them, and we need them quick. You know, the season is well underway, and we still don't have a winger in. It does concern me a bit. It does concern me a bit because you ended up with Ryan Fraser. No, let's be honest, he'd done a really, really good job at the weekend. Played right wing back. Now he's outshone Sugawara as a right wing back. You know, Sugawara won't get in over him now. Like, we know James Bree could probably play that role if we really wanted him to. But I've got to touch upon Ryan Fraser. I just think he's been so good. I'm really pleased for him actually. And I thought like his post match interview with Adam Blackmore. Here he is against Ipswich at the weekend. Photograph courtesy of the football club, by the way. Great photo of wee man who's lost a lot of weight actually. Ryan Fraser. I thought he was magnificent at the weekend. But Saints still, even though he played really well at right wing back, I still feel we absolutely do need a right wing back. That is, in my opinion, we do. It's obvious we do. We're way short there. We covered all the transfer speculation here on the show. Everything I wanted to touch upon over the last 17 minutes. I've been waffling and talking for a long period of time. It's great to be here. I love doing this. To have 216 of you in live watching is absolutely insane. If you know a friend that may enjoy the content, make sure you do share it with a friend. And if you're down at St Mary's at the weekend and you want to feature in the fan cam, come and have your say. This channel is for the fans as well. I want you guys to come and have your say about our football club because we all love it as much as, we all love it, don't we? Right, Tom Fellows alone. Leave him alone. I didn't think he played amazing at the weekend. Do you like my Marion Pajas picture on the wall, by the way? That's a new feature in the studio. Actually, there's 2 features in the studio. I've got off on a tangent. We've got Marion on the wall, and we've also got Adam Armstrong at the playoff final as well. A couple of new pictures on the wall that I've picked up. I think they look quite good. Right, I'm going to come to all your chat now because I love doing this part of the show. This is the best bit of the show. I love covering all the transfer chat, but I love hearing what you've got to say because your opinions always really intrigue me. So right, let's work my way through it. I'm trying to get to the right section in this plugin I have. Right, here we go. Let's go with Paul. Paul, thanks for joining, mate. Hope you're well. Need to cut our losses on players that just squad fillers like AB Kane and Rebo. I agree. I just thought Aribo would be gone. And when I read that we're not in a rush to get rid of him, I was like, give your head a wobble. Just cash in on him now. I think I think midfield wise, where would he really fit in it anyway? I'm not sure he's a still-like player. No doubt he's a good player, but if you can get some money for him, I think he'd be really good. I'm sure there's going to be loads of chat about Russell Martin in here as well, by the way. A lot of fans are obsessed with what Rangers are doing at the moment, and Russell Martin, as Rangers were in action in the Champions League this evening. After last season's dire performances, it's not surprising that clubs aren't. Yeah, I totally agree. They're not rushing to get our players. I absolutely agree to you. And proven talent, yeah, I think if you wanted to come and work under a top manager and still, if I was a young player and you see the project at Southampton and you look at Steele I think Steele is an exciting manager to go and play for. I do. I think we're attractive to a lot of players. What else do we have? Ballard could come good. Time for him to leave. Yeah, I'm gutted to see him go. I'm gutted he's just not broken through because he had all that. Yeah, he had so much talent, so much about him, didn't he? As a player, and he obviously does really well in the under-21s and goes out on loan, and he doesn't really rip it up in League One. Roy's here. Sick hearing about the Saints are interested in. I don't think so. I think my honest opinion is we're always going to get speculation, Roy. There's no doubt. You're going to hear names linked. It isn't just Saints. That you could be a Man United fan, an Arsenal fan, a Portsmouth fan. No matter who you support, I think the modern era now with X, social media, speculations out there. You've got people like Fabrizio Romano looking for a story. They're looking to share stuff for players sometimes. Then you've got press that want to get stories out. Even I'm here. I'm creating a show just talking about speculation. I'm not a reporter, but I'm here just having a show just talking about speculation that might not even be true. But you just debate it because it's interesting. It can be. I find it fascinating. But I don't think it's done to keep the fans quiet. I think it's genuine. Saints will have a long list of players they want to sign, and they'll be talking to agents, and there'll be players that Saints agents are talking to. And sometimes those stories get out, and it's in the public domain. And a lot of things in football, sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. It is just what it is. But I've got to be honest, some stories get a bit boring, like the Dibling stories got boring, the Fernandez's get boring. In the same token, I don't know about anyone else, I find it really, really fascinating because I love seeing how it's all going to play out. I do. I just find it really exciting. That's just me. Stu Dunn's in. Fed up with the transfer window. We need to stop messing around. Get these ins and outs done. The squad needs to be settled. Yeah, I agree. I just think I was hoping we weren't going to leave it to the last few days and end up with it all at the end, because it's so risky when you do it at the end, isn't it? Because what happens if you don't get a deal over the line, or you can't get a deal done? And you just got to trust the people that are in charge and hope they get it right. So it does worry me a little. A Manian who plays in Russia, so work permits should be. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you just answered the question there, Richard. We will see what happens with Spertsyan. We will see. Paul's just waking up in New Zealand. I've gifted 5 memberships as well today as well. So I did that at the start of the show. So there's a bit of members content that I do put out as well. I will do some more as we go along as well. I think our centre backs will be the weak link this season. I think that's a good one, YV. The weekend surprised me. I'll be honest with you, mate. I thought the weekend was, and I said on social, and I said on my channels, he had a stinker, Quasi. And someone said to me, he didn't have a stinker. Yes, he did. He had a stinker. He just didn't have a very good game. And it wasn't like we saw it coming, because he played well the week before and he looked good in pre-season, so we didn't see it coming. He didn't have a very good game. But I think he's so young, and the same with Damien, the striker. A lot of fans are jumping on him. We have to give them a bit of time. We have to give them slack because of their ages and the fact they're in a new country. We can't write them off. But I get your point about the back four, the back five. Jack Stevens made the two centre backs next to him look like a real quality player, like a like Paolo Maldini to me. They made him look world class because they were so bad. But then Harwood Bellis is coming back from injury. Look, to go there, to not be at our best, to be off it with a back four like they were, I've got to say, I think it's a good sign in a way that we can get what we got at the weekend. And the weekend seems like a lifetime ago. But yeah, I'm really, really happy that we got the results we have, not playing well with the back four being shaky. But still, I trust in him that he will sort it out. Aribo, I agree. Belakopchak, I agree. Brereton Diaz, I agree. Dibling, I want to keep, but I agree. I think he'd go. Adozi, I agree. Masuki, I went as far as said he was a bit of a headless chicken the weekend, and I was told I was being harsh. When he played like I would do when I play football, you just run around and you just chase around, don't you? When you're not very good, you just run around loads. I was terrible. Sandra, loan, yeah, I agree. In 2 wingers, absolutely. A third choice goalkeeper, I'm guessing that's what you're going for. I agree. Attacking midfielder, spot on. Defensive midfield cover, absolutely. Bang on. I think we do need someone, because Downs and Charles won't play the whole season. And a right back. Absolutely 100% Lewis, a right back. Mate, you've literally summed up everything that I'm going to do in a video there. But that is, yeah, I think it's spot on. Yeah, you're spot on. Another one here. Transfer speculation is never good for the squad of players. Maybe trying to line up a move, preparing to leave. It does, mate. I agree. The fact the window's open when the season started just makes it worse. If the season started, the window was shut, it's not too bad. But the fact it's open, it's a nightmare, and you've got people training away, and yeah, it's just nonsense. It really is nonsense. But what else do we have? Kean said, let Edwards have a game together. I don't think it happened unless it's in the cup game. Is it Norwich next week after? Maybe. I think one of them goes out on loan. I think one of them will go out on loan. I think it probably be Wood, but I do think we'll probably end up loaning one of the centre backs. I might be wrong in that. Richard's great in the chat. Richard, great to have you here, mate. Will still will iron out the mistakes at the back. Work in progress. We're looking to play forward more, which is a good thing. I saw one thing. We're going to need back to yeah. I know. I agree. We do look to go forward more. And if you compare where we are to where we were, in the Championship last time round, I think we look very similar, really. We look at the start of that Championship campaign. We didn't start it terribly, did we? Really, we won at Sheffield Wednesday, and then I think we drew with Norwich, didn't we? And at home 4-4, and then we beat Plymouth away late on, if I remember. So I think we started okay, averaging 2 points a game between now and the window. Benjamin Bloom was saying on his show the other day, I think for anybody, I think it's a really good place if you can do that. The weekend won't be easy against Stoke, by the way. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, there's a massive gap. Charlie Page, I think we're forgetting the gap in quality between the Prem and the Championship. A lot of our players are good enough to get us into the top two. Yeah, bang on. I think Rusty, when he come on the fan cam a couple of weeks ago, he's a brilliant guy, Rusty, and he said the same. We've got a good enough squad as it stands to be in the top two. I think my biggest fear is where the goals come from, like that out and out number 9. That I just think last time round we were better because we had the right back in Walker Peters, and we had that real quality up front of Adams. And no matter what anyone says about Adams, I'll talk about him too much probably, is that with Shea, he give us the ability to get up the field more because he was such a clever player, and I thought he had so many good games, so not valued at times, but a brilliant player. Hopefully, Damien can be something similar. I'm not convinced though. It's still early days for Damien, but Ross Stewart, if he can get fit and hopefully he can get over the shits and be ready for the weekend, I'd start Stewart the weekend. Absolutely. Now, Charlie Bretson, absolute legend. Yeah, we do love a bit of live content, mate. We're doing more and more of it on the channel now. A bit of transfer chat, loads of live content. Goes down an absolute storm. And I get really nervous doing live content, Charlie. But the beauty is I don't have to take 50 takes to start a video, because a lot of these videos you watch on YouTube that I publish and put out there, I usually take like 15 to like 35 attempts to start the video because I'm such a critique. But when you're live, it's unforgiving, it's raw, and you just got to make it happen. And you can't mess it up. And if you do pronounce something wrong, it's live, isn't it? It's unforgiving, and I get called out on it, and I get a load of stick for it. But look, I'm just a fan creator. I've got 2 full-time jobs, and I just do this as a hobby. So it's just for fun. Never know, it might become a bit more than for fun at some stage. St. Andy's back. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining. Feels like we're trying to get deals done so we can react quickly when Dibling, Fernandez leave. We don't want to buy replacements before they leave. We bought Sigawara for KWP. Brilliant point from St. Andy there. That's a good point, that. We Carl Walker-Peters didn't get sold, did he? And then we end up with Sigawara, who, by the way, I think he's shocking. Not being harsh, but I think he's shocking. He needs to get so much better, and he's already in a lower league and still looks crap. I'd sell him and just buy another right back. Ryan Fraser did a really good job there the weekend, but yeah, you've got to. sometimes I do worry about our recruitment. Like we brought him in, bit of a disaster. Masuki, I don't know if he's ever going to be any good. Ross Stewart remains to be seen. I just hope that Spores gets it spot on. I really, really do. But it's going to be Gary spot on. Gary is feeling like Martin feels right now. The business we do in the rest of the window will make or break our season. Yes, mate. I'm so with you, Gary. It will make it. It has the potential to break us. Yeah, absolutely. But like, it's not just. It breaks the team. It breaks the fan base a bit as well. Because if you let Matty go, you let Tyler go, and then obviously a Dozy in that to go as well. And then say we don't get Spertsyan in, and we end up with this other lad that we were talking about a minute ago. I can't remember his name. And we end up with players that we didn't really expect, and they're like, not what we expected. We don't get Rodoni, which we won't, and we don't all as fans get what we feel we need, because we will have our own opinions. Yeah, I think it could have an impact on the atmosphere, the feeling. Yeah, I do, and certainly on the team as well. And I think for Steele, I actually believe, and I've said it like to my mates yesterday, and there's loads of people texting me yesterday, Saints fans that I chat to a lot of my mates, and I said to them all that we have one of the best managers we've had in ages. Hopefully, we back him and give him the players to play the system he wants to play, to give him the options to play different systems, to go at teams in a different way. And I don't think the back five that he's playing really suits us. I don't like it. I'd rather see an extra forward. But yeah, I think we have one of the best managers we've had in a long time from what I'm seeing. I know it's early, but we know what he's done overseas in France. But for anybody that's not watched those club videos, the pitch side unseen, he is immense with the players. Like in the dressing room, what he says, the way he stands outside the dressing room door as they're all going out into the tunnel. He's just like, the way he looks at everyone, the way he's communicating with people. I think he's the real deal for me as a manager. And like people say, oh, he'd find ways to win games and he'd be really adaptable. I just don't think he can be when he hasn't got the personnel that we probably really need. Simon's just mentioned that confirmed deal for Mateus Fernandes. That's from a good source, I think, as well, if I'm right in saying, because that's a journalist. It's a name that I recognise anyway. So I will quickly have a look at the feeds in a minute before I end the live and just see if I can pick up on it. Yeah, they definitely have. You're spot on with that. Whether they get near the 50 million mark is the big question. West Ham have made an improved offer for Southampton midfielder Mateus Fernandes. Remains to be seen whether they've gone high enough to get the deal over the line. Be interesting to see if they offer any players in return. I did watch a bit of West Ham the weekend, and they were absolutely abysmal. They were poor. Just talking about West Ham getting beaten by Sunderland, I just want to chat about the Prem a little bit. You saw Leeds win last night. Bearing in mind, Everton were woeful. Like dreadful. Then you look at West Ham at the weekend, dreadful. Sunderland won, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Leeds will stay up, Sunderland stay up." I still don't think either of them will stay up. They're just highlighting how shit we were last season, really, and how badly we approached the Premier League. But a lot of that's down to the manager. A lot of that's down to the people that just totally and utterly messed up the window. But we're in another transfer window, and they've got a lot of work to do. I trust Spurs, but when Saints are interested in players and bigger teams get a sniff of this, we may lose targets. Yeah, it's a good point. I'm not sure about Spurs yet. It remains to be seen. Jury's out for me on that, man. Let's see what he comes up with so far. So far, he's brought us inwards. Quasi. Looks okay. Damien Downs remains to be seen. I still don't think Damien Downs is what we needed for this league right now. And I've gone on record saying it loads of times. I still would have gone for Josh Sargent or somebody of that ilk that will go and score goals, that knows the division. That was my opinion. You do need experience, certainly up front. I think we've proved it already with what Adams did. If there's anything we can learn from that, there's a lot to be learned from the championship campaign that we went up. There's a lot of lessons of things not to do, but one of them was having a striker that could hold the ball up. But look, Stewart, if I can get him fit, everyone will argue with me, say, well, Martin, you've got Stewart, you've got Downs, you've got loads of strikers. But One of them's a kid that's never played in a league before, and the other one gets injured if someone sneezes near him. So it's a bit of an issue. It is a bit of an issue. That's why I was saying the other day, maybe go sign a striker. Just because I don't trust the other two. And Armstrong ain't a number 9. So it is a bit of a problem. That's why I've put it out there and said it. Like, that's just my opinion. But we do. I think this is an interesting one. I'm getting passionate now. I know it's been much talk about a striker, but we simply need to create more chances. Great point. We've lacked creativity for years. Name one creative player we've had in the last 3 to 4 years. Charlie Alcaraz, playing for Everton last night, was probably our last creative player to an extent, but he still wasn't a standout creative midfielder. But I totally agree. I think you're spot on. So get involved on the back of this comment from Tracy, because it's a brilliant one from Tracy Lawrence, who was, Saints fans, our last really good creative midfielder. I want your thoughts on that. Everybody's feeling like I feel. Hope Stewart stays fit and Downs can learn from him. Absolutely. I agree with that. We're talking about Armstrong here somewhere. It was Charlie. As much as Armstrong is great in the Championship, I would rather have Archer in the 9 position. Yeah, I agree with that. I thought he might have got a sniff there when he come on as a sub. And he ends up going out wide. Tadic, good point. He was good, wasn't he? Tadic was creative. Lallana, God, seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? But Lallana, you mean Lallana last time round, not this time round, or last season. Yeah, creative midfielders are hard to find. I do agree with that comment. But Stu Dunn's saying the same. He was, wasn't he? Tadic was our last creative player. Ewan says, not sure we need a striker. How many clubs would... I get your point. Hasn't started. His body language is a bit off. I think he needs to find a goal. He looked good in pre-season playing 9, didn't he? He looked good. And then we've reverted to not playing him there. Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think before the window's out, why don't we try it? Would you, if you were the manager, like, I'm with you, Ewan. He looked good in pre-season there. Let's play him there. Absolutely. Interesting one from Scum Army 249. Thanks for joining, mate. Spertsyan probably using Southampton as a way of getting other clubs interested. A lot of agents do this. Oh, they do, absolutely. Yeah, they just play one off against another. Someone mentioned Al Berkovic. What a player he was, by the way. Absolute legend. Charlie's with me. I knew he would be. Agree with you about the striker position. I hope that Downs will click in a few weeks. If not, then we will be reliant on Stewart's fitness. So you're right. Let's sign another. Yeah, it is a worry, mate. Unless he can get Archer playing through the middle. But I just don't see he's that player that, unless he's going to be able to play off the shoulder and we're going to play through midfield and we've got that creative spark, someone to drive with the ball, find those passes. The problem for us, as a newly relegated side, I just feel we end up with loads of teams sitting with a low block. And that's where Adams was brilliant last time round. He was good when we played against low block. Archer won't be any good against a low block. I don't think, for love nor money, Adam Armstrong will ever be any good against a low block. And Damien Downs is still so young. Look, he has the potential to be good, but he's so young. That's what frustrates me. Harry, thank you, mate. I am glad you enjoy it and loving my work. I'm here to bring Saints content, because there's not loads of Saints content around, and I absolutely love doing this, and I love getting you guys involved, because that is what it's all about. And if you're ever at St Mary's and you want to come and have your say on the channel, I keep on saying anybody is welcome to come on the fan cam. Right, last 10 minutes or so now. I've been live for about 40 minutes. I'll go to 10 to 11. I know it's late, but there's 200 of you watching, just over. And if you're watching on catch up, please do get involved in the comments box below. And if you're not subscribed, please do get subscribed to the channel. Your fastest growing Saints fan channel out there. Right, what else do we have in the chat below? Keep your questions coming. Keep your comments coming. Tracy's with me. Shea leaving was tough. His hold-up play was the best. Yeah, you're with me on that. I thought he was insane. Interesting one here. I agree with this. We'd love to see Archer and Adam Armstrong on the wings. Ross Stewart in the middle with Jay Robinson used as a rotation on the wings. Yeah, I love the idea of Ross Stewart starting and being in the team. Steve DeRidder. Love that one. I just saw that come up and just wanted to giggle. That's absolutely brilliant. What a legend he was. Weird about Lumley going, isn't it, by the way? That we've let Lumley go and we need a third choice. Maybe he was a bit of a prat. Who knows? But yeah, we need to find another Lumley, basically. What else do we have? Yeah, good question. What's the minimum business you want to see? I don't want us to see us buying that many. 1 or 2 maybe. I think 3. I think you need a backup goalkeeper, definitely. You need a third choice because he's already said he wants one. Probably a right back. A cover for central midfield. Yeah, you're going to need cover for central midfield. So right back will give or take. So I'm definitely 2. Backup goalkeeper is a must. Someone to back up Charles and Flynn Downs in midfield. Creative midfielder and a wide man. 4 minimum. If you said a right back, which I don't think we'll get, that would be 5. There's a 4 minimum, really. And that's without... But if you don't lose Tyler and you don't lose Mateus, they're still not wide men. I still think to play his style of football, you need wide men. He was a top man, by the way, Gudi to Prado. What a guy. What a guy. What do we have? Yeah, we need a solid winger, absolutely. Do we have enough goalkeepers? Steele's come out and said in his press conference at the weekend when he's asked by the press, that was Alfie, George, and the written press, I think. I saw it on YouTube because sometimes they get clipped up, or you can see the press conferences. He was asked about the goalkeeping situation, and he said that to make training competitive, they need one more. And I don't think the young lad's quite ready, so they will bring somebody in as a 3. They won't bring a 1 in because Baz looks tops. But yeah, they will bring a goalkeeper in. So yeah, they do need one. They absolutely do need one. Bamford, he hasn't gone anywhere, has he? He's a free. We should do it. We should take a look at free agents at some stage. Bamford's still a free agent. The other one's Danny Ings, because someone messaged me about it today. Would you take him? He was in the Southampton Barbers a few weeks ago, but I don't think he comes back here for love nor money. But a creative midfielder is the most important. I'm with Charlie Parsons. A creative midfielder is the most important position to get us. We've looked so toothless when the attacking. We just get slowed down, don't we? We are toothless in attacking. And then you just need the wide plays. You get the attacking midfielder, the 10, and then imagine if you have Rodoni and he's pinging passes. All you just need is good. Ryan Fraser can do a job on that right side. Just need someone else. You just need someone else. I love the fact that Fraser is playing so well, and he's always given the fullback an option, and he's given midfielders an option. I do think it is class. I really do. Yeah, Ings is a free agent. Someone else said that in the chat as well. Right, last 7-8 minutes or so left of the live now. What else do we have? I'm good, thank you, Charlie. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. There's another Charlie and loads of different Charlies in. Miko Antonio, 1-year deal. Interesting one. How's he recovered from his accident? Because he had that terrible accident, didn't he? I hope he's okay because he's top guy. Great for us, wasn't he? First time round. Danny is going to Wrexham. Yeah, is that happening? There, I didn't know. I heard it before that he was going to Wrexham, but I didn't know it actually happened. Andy, I'm no tactical expert, but 4 at the back and 2 up front, I believe, would improve a lot. Yeah, I'm with you on it. Absolutely, I'm with you. It's another option. It's good. I thought we've been losing games with 5 at the back for many years now. Yeah, I hate 5 at the back. We used to play at a Sunday League level when I had a Sunday League team because your 2 centre-backs were always slow at Sunday League level. They've been on the beer or eating too many McDonald's, too many KFCs, too slow. And I'd always play a sweeper. I used to manage the team. I always play a sweeper because the The centre-backs would never be quick enough. And if you got like some young nipper come on as a sub that was quick and pacey, you could sweep up. But this is professional football. Forward to back, as most teams try and play it, try and play a forward to back. Thank you, mate. That's what I tried to do. Try not to be negative. Try not to get too over the top. Try and keep a calm, level head, which is, like you say, it's quite rare in football now. It's really rare. Even watching Monday Night Football last night, which, by the way, I do enjoy the show, but becomes so biased at times, doesn't it? And like sometimes, just like, I don't know, some of the mainstream media I find a bit boring now. I don't know about you guys. I love this kind of content. It's just different, isn't it? Radzaki, what happened to Radzaki? I don't know. Interesting one, Sam. I covered this on the show. Boving looked like a player that we were looking at. Coventry are interested in him. It's in my show notes. Hold on, let me go back to my show notes because I did have some details on it. Ipswich Town and Coventry are both eyeing a move for Danish starlet William Boving, valued at £3 million. He was reported to be tops. So yeah, don't know what happened there, mate, but he would be he'd be brilliant. He'd be good. Like another one, you look at his stats, looks a really promising player, and it's backed up in what he's done. Right, a little bit of extra news on that before we wrap things up on the transfer show tonight. It's all been breaking. I like doing these transfer shows at like 10 o'clock UK time because a lot of these transfer stories always usually hit around sort of 9, 10 o'clock. So we've captured a bit of a story tonight about this West Ham coming back in with his second offer for Fernandez. The ex-West Ham employee, who's a very good source for West Ham transfer news, has tweeted on West Ham's improved offer for Fernandez. The valuations are a long way apart. However, it is hoped that the pressure from the agent and the player about wanting to leave may make Southampton reconsider the fee, or at least allow clauses as opposed to down payments. There's going to have to be a significant shift in Southampton's price tag to get this to happen, but they have increased the offer. That is from the ex-West Ham employee. I'm literally reading it as I'm live, and I'm terrible at doing two things at once. So that is the latest. Someone said, please do a deadline day show, yellow tie. I'll definitely do a deadline day show, yellow tie. There's some people that literally hate me on X, and they will rib me to pieces if I put a yellow tie on. I may wear a yellow top. I may compromise with you, and we'll wear a yellow top. But we'll do a deadline day live. But I'm sure some grown man will make stickers of me if I do that. But yeah, I'll do a deadline day live, definitely. And what I might do is try and check in on a bit of championship stuff, because now we're in the championship, I like to cover a bit of championship as well. So I'll maybe get a couple of content creators on from in and around the championship and get a bit of thoughts on what's happened at their clubs. Maybe a bit of Ipswich, Leicester, maybe Cov, a few of the other teams. We'll get some stories. So Josh Sargent, they want loads of money for Josh Sargent. He is tops, by the way, 2 goals in 2 championship games already. Saints yellow top, easy decision. Yes, I agree. It's a good shout. I've got that yellow one that with the blue that Ricky Lambert scored all the goals in. That's a good yellow one. Can maybe use that. I love the away shirt now, but football shirts, I don't know about you guys, loads of people wearing them to games now, and I love it. And I saw some content creator the other day, I can't think of who it was, the guy that goes on Talk Sport, Rory Jennings. He was talking about fans. He thinks it's bizarre that fans feel the need to wear football shirts to games to show support for their team. He's obviously trying to get clicks on Talk Sport, but I actually like it. I like it that fans wear shirts to games, but some people, they just don't suit. I'm one of those people, it just doesn't suit. I'd love to wear a shirt, but I look an idiot in it. I don't know why. I see people in it and think, oh yeah, that looks great. I'll wear my shirt. And I wear it and I'll do the filming and stuff. Then I look back at myself and think, Martin, you look a dick. So, very rarely wear a football shirt. What is Mateus's true position? Tracy, you've been tops on the live tonight. Thank you for joining. I've not seen you pop up loads of times, so I really appreciate you being here. I am with you. I think it's an 8. I think his best position is an 8. He's not a creative midfielder by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. It's got like his work rate's good, his energy's good. I think he's an 8. I'm gonna go with he's an 8, but definitely not a 10. Definitely not a defensive midfielder. Oh, mate, thank you very much. All the way from Portugal. I hope it is nice and warm in Portugal. I went to Portugal last year and absolutely loved a weekend there. We went to Playa de Rosa. Rosa? Is that right? If I'm pronouncing it correctly, Alexander. My best mate Snag do. It was insanely good. Great channel, mate. I was wondering if you truly reckon we have a good enough defence. I'm not convinced. Makes me more nervous than our attack, personally. I do think we have a good enough. I think we have good enough players. I'm concerned about the fullbacks. I think Charlie Taylor may have a place to play in a back four. I'm not convinced by Wellington. Manning can be a good left wing back. So I think we're covered if he keeps Taylor. I'm not convinced by Wellington, though. Not just because of the weekend, because just in general. Right back, I'm a bit concerned. Bree gets a lot of injuries. Sigawara, not the best. Panics under pressure. Glenn DeCour says it on Total Saints all the time. He's just like hates being put under pressure. So yeah, not couldn't. I think like centre back wise, I think we're fine. We've got pace. Harbour Bellis was good in the Championship last time around. He'd get good again. Stevens looks the best he's looked in years. I think there's good options there. We've got good Championship defender in Wood. I do think we're okay. I just think as a unit, he needs to sort his system out, and then we know where we're at. I think defence all comes from the front, and you have to work as a unit, as a team. It's not just about the back 4, 5. I think it's about the setup and the unit and like everybody knowing their jobs. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I do. But I appreciate your kind comments and I hope it's great in Portugal. And next time I'm in Portugal, I'll give you a shout. What's our owners supporting them? Yeah, I think it's a good point, Gary. I think they probably want to support him, but I just think it's how they finance it. It's always the way. Do the owners have loads of money to throw at transfers? Probably not. But yeah, I think it's it's a difficult one as a business. It's really hard for me to comment on. I'm sure they want to, but maybe they just can't. But he's the best manager we've had in ages. The best shirt, Roy says, is the retro. It's brilliant. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, I'd love a retro shirt. I do. Victor Johansson. Oh yeah, he's good, Victor Johansson, but he'd be like, I think he will end up as a number 1 somewhere. Is he not signed for anyone yet? I'm not sure. What else do we have before I go? What else do we have? Josh Sargent chat. If Sargent didn't get hurt so often, he would be. Yeah, they've been trying. I think there were clubs interested. Yeah, he gets injured a lot. I think that's probably his biggest issue. He's tops though. He is absolutely tops. Anyone else interested? Surprised of Downs sticking around? Flynn Downs. No, I'm not surprised. I always thought he would. He would stick around. Yeah, absolutely. I always thought he would stick around. But yeah, I just think he's. I think he's a good player. I think he's a player that we want. I think he's a player that we need to keep. And yeah, he's an important part of the squad. But yeah, you wouldn't have said that maybe in January when you thought he was kicking up a bit of a stink. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with that, Tracy, about the kit. Yeah, absolutely agree. Good point, Alexander. Nice one, I agree. If they can gel, but it has to happen relatively quickly. Yes, it does. Individual quality worries me. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think you make a great point. I think you make a really, really, really good point. It's been a great live. I've really, really enjoyed it. To keep 200 of you here tuned in, watching me for this amount of time is insanely amazing of you. I will be back. I will do another one of these this week if there's a bit more any more transfer stories. I've got what we got coming up this week. Before I wrap things up, what do we have coming up? Pre-match show against Stoke City drops on Friday, so that'll be out like a day before the game. I will be doing the Football Martin podcast. I'm going to try and get a guest on and record something at some stage tomorrow. And then at the weekend, you've got match day vlog. We've got all your predictions that I like to get on the match day show, on the pre-match show. Matchday vlog, instant reaction within about 30 minutes of the final whistle. Then you've got all your fan cam and everything else. So yeah, it's unbelievably good. The channel is just dropping great content all the time. And there's something I'm missing, a show that you want to see, something you would love to see me produce, you just need to tell me. Drop me a DM. My email is info@footballmartin.com. You can even leave a message in the comments box below. I will come back and I will read them. When I'm in a good mood, I'll come and read them, because like some of it's not all positive. So you've got to be in a good place to come and read your comments. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. I will see you again in another video very, very soon.